Okay, so I want to do a quick review, but Mia wants to be in the video, so I figured what the heck. She's a good girl, aren't you? Yeah, Mia's my good girl. And I think she's like 4 months now. I know, I love you too. You're such a good dog. So anyway, so on this video, I want to go over some, I'm going to call it a wrap-up video. Things that you need to complete for the, for the end of the semester, that kind of thing. I'll make it real quick. So anyway, don't forget, right, there is the practical, and if you haven't taken it when you watch this video, I did a video for it, so there's some useful hints on how to do well on it. So I recommend you watch it before you take the practical. Right, everything you need to know for the practical, most of it is you'll find in the PowerPoint for the practical, right, or the lab PowerPoint in the content section. So be sure you're using this. And then in that video I explained how there's this practical figure PowerPoint. It's just basically all the figures that you could encounter on the practical without labels, right? So that way you ought to be able to identify them like that when you take the practical. So I think that'll be helpful if you use it. So I put up this course evaluation. If you'd like to do one, just click on that link. And then I have this early flyer. So let's see, I guess if you haven't submitted it yet, Nikki, I'm doing this on November 26th. So anyway, be sure you follow those. It needs to be 2 files. They need to be docx. I need to, so that it tells me how many words. You don't have to tell me. The application you put I open it up in should tell me. She's biting my feet right now. Mia, no. It needs to be 220 words, but of course if it's more than 220, that's fine. You need 2 scientific images. Okay. So anyway, when you get done with your lab practical, then I'll put your, and it's graded, it's got to be graded too. Then I can put what your lab points are, total lab points, in this grade book for the class. All right, and then once I do that, I can add what your total points are now, at least what the computer's telling me for the lab and the lecture. So that you kind of get to know, how you need to do for the last exam. That's why I put it there, right? There's a total of 1,000 points, and in this, there'll be an announcement about that once I make the. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's whining. So total points. Right, will be 900 points give you an A between lab and lecture, right? And this is a single grade you earn for both, right? You get them both. So then there'll be an announcement. I guess I don't know if you want to redo your assignments, you can do that as well. Just you could email them to me. I don't expect to get any extra credit or anything turned in, the last week of class. So once everything's going to be due for the class. All right, when you take your online quizzes, there's 3 of them that you need to take, and then exam 4 are due December 10th. I'm not going to be making things up after that, right? It's in my mind the semester's over. And this is, if you need to make up lab quizzes, do it this week, right, before December 10th. Or, if you missed a online quiz. You can still turn in some of the assignments late, but just expect some, points deducted. And I think if you didn't get all the points or most of the points for any of the assignments, I told you in the feedback that you could resubmit it. So But I'm not going to be doing that at the end, the last week of the semester. Like when you figure out what your total points are and you need, 20 points to get the next letter grade. I get all that done before. I'm not sure. Mia, what are you up to? Assignment 6 is due December 10th to, and then I guess I could talk about the flyer a little bit. You could turn that in early. You should be following the flyer directions. So if it's probably easier to go under flyer assignment, right? There's the micro flyer. Those are the directions. If you don't, I deduct points because you haven't followed the directions, right? There's step-by-step directions. There's a video if you want to, you're not quite sure what to do. You don't have to tell me what you pick for a flyer topic, but this is what you'd use. And then these two other, if you have a bacteria or virus, then you could use this to, you don't need to answer all the questions on these documents. They're just to help you if you're not sure what to put in it, then these would be useful. It doesn't have to be, it can be more than 220 words. And your references get submitted separately because I don't want that included in the word count. And when it gets assessed by Turnitin, the references will get 90, 100% all the time, right? So that eliminates that problem. If you submit them both together, then it includes that similarity of your references. So, there's reasons why I have you do docx files, or if you put it in, don't submit a JPEG because you can't do a word count on that, and this way you've got 220 words. I know you have 220 words. Everybody's happy. Okay, and then if you turned it in early, then instead of 40 points, then I'd put 50 points, but that means that you followed the directions. All right, that's the other stipulation. It's all of these are included in the flyer. So week 14, basically that's. At this point, you can have everything done for class. And once you take the practical, you're done. Next to your total points, once everything's completed, I'll put a letter grade. So you'll know at that point what your grade is. And I need to update that myself, right? The computer doesn't update that total points. So I need to go in there and do it. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know, wrap things up, and I appreciate you guys taking my class, and good luck with remaining material.